growth and so forth. So we've always been able to use this medication to suppress puberty. Well, here you can introduce it at age 10.5 as all of a sudden puberty is about to explode on this child. And it doesn't mean you're saying this is clearly and definitively a transgender individual, but it gives you a few more years to talk about that. And most important, it prevents puberty from exploding on this kid. And if they are transgender, that may lead to a lot of gender dysphoria. Now you might say, well, gee, what, doesn't that do irreparable damage to the kid if they don't go into puberty and then you let them go into the regular puberty because it's decided that they're not transgender? Not really. You can catch up. Okay. So, anyways, that's what are the possibilities of that. Does anybody think that's outrageous? Are we playing Mother Nature, Father Nature? Good.
I thought there's been some research that suppressing puberty can lead to some problems later on, and that some children who were treated with those drugs then became sterile. Is that true?
The best data comes from the Amsterdam clinic where they started to do this in the 70s. And in follow-up, there's actually relatively little bad side effects. Now, allowing kids to go through, quote, the wrong puberty can have devastating effects. So you've got to balance that off. Things like bone density, won't accrue as much because when you go into puberty, you start to make thicker and thicker bones. Most of that you can catch up with when eventually this kid will go into puberty. Maybe the opposite puberty than, say, the female puberty that she was going to go through. But so I think that whatever risk there is, I think it's minimal, and certainly when you weigh it against this kid at age 10.5 that has this strong and persistent feelings, you're pretty darn sure this kid's gonna either be a trans man or a non-binary individual in the future.
The other time that delayed puberty is done is with a kid that isn't growing satisfactorily. You want to give him growth hormone, but if he goes through puberty, that may seal his growth. So you want to delay the puberty to let the growth hormone have enough years of action so he could reach whatever height you've assigned would be important.
Yeah. And the other thing I'd say, the other condition in endocrinology is delayed puberty, late bloomers. This is relatively common in boys that don't go into puberty. You can all remember the boys in this class, remember in 7th and 8th grade, the girls just got so much taller so quickly and we were still about this big. But boys can go into puberty. So, sure.